Welcome back to Terpy, back with another commercial facility update video. I know it's been a few weeks since I've updated you guys on the space, and a lot has happened over the last 3 or 4 weeks. As you can see in the background, the plants are all in flower. This is flower room 2, so I'll give you a quick walkthrough of everything that's going on in both flower room 1 and flower room 2, which is behind me. So here's a canopy view just at the top of the plants. This is currently day 25 of flower. We just finished getting the defoliation done. This strain in front of me is King Juice. We have put on 1 layer of trellis netting. I should have put a 2nd layer of trellis netting on about this level earlier, but I was tied up with some other tasks that need to be completed in this building. But I will be getting on a 2nd layer of trellis netting on here and working it down to the tops of the poles later on today after I finish this clip. But overall, you can see we got a full canopy in here. Just stacked buds from top to bottom. I'll give you an under canopy view right now. So here we are, fully lollipopped all the way up to the 1st layer of trellis netting. Tables are clean, cleared out. So we got great airflow under the canopy right here. The tables could be a little bit cleaner, but we've had lots going on and short on manpower. But very happy with how this room has turned out since if you guys remember from when we started this flower room 2 with the greenhouse genetics clones, they weren't in the best condition. And as you can see, I've turned this entire room around and we have an entire full canopy of solid stacked buds all the way up to here. Here we got full gas along the last column right here. Super nice. Very happy with how this room has turned out so far. We've changed to 2 CO2 tanks filling the space with a hose that goes up behind the fan and which blows it above the canopy, and then we have this one also blowing CO2 down so it'll be spread across the under canopy. Ideally, you want to get as much CO2 in the canopy space right here, but having it both high and low will fill the room perfectly. One thing that I have noticed in my design of this room is the Thailand humidity is no joke. Even though we have great sealed room here and all the seals and edges on all the rooms are completely siliconed and airtight, we did run into a HVAC issue with the installers. This was the first time ever doing a cannabis facility, and they thought that between the air ducts didn't need to be sealed properly. And it's like they told me that it was completely normal for some air loss in and out of the supply and feed lines. And over the first couple weeks, I was dealing with a lot of extra humidity coming into the room because of those seals along the air ducts not being completely sealed. So I had to get them back in here a few times to really make them understand how important it was to get a sealed room. And eventually we ended up getting everything taped up and sealed, and it made a big improvement on this space. So we'll just give a quick update on the strains that we got in here. Full gas on table number 1, stacked super nice. Here we have aliens, a little bit shorter of a plant, not as deep canopy, but still nicely stacked and cleared out. We got lemon orange here. This is a 9 to 10 week strain. This comes down to it, we might have to run just this row an extra week or so, but we'll see how that goes. Tarty Tatin, I think this will be the biggest yielder in this room as it is super dense canopy and fully stacked from the trellis netting all the way to the top. Then we got King Juice, which is our shortest plant, but super big early development on the buds here and very dense canopy all the way from front to back. Next strain we have Velvet Moon. This is one of my favorites also, although it is very tall. As you can see, it's almost touching the light up there, which will make us have some challenges later on in flower with having our PPFD a little bit too strong for the taller plants. Next one we have Strawberries, which is not my favorite. It's probably my least favorite in the room just because I don't like the plant structure of this particular pheno that they have. But overall, it has stacked and filled the canopy fully. And the last one over here, we have Nori Cake. Great strain, fully filled up canopy all the way down. Super happy with this. Okay, so that's a quick update on flower room 2 at day 25 of flower. We'll head over into flower room 1 now and we'll give you an update on that. I think it's day 46 over there. Just waiting for the fans to shut off, but we are here in flower room 1. As you can see, the buds are much bigger in this room because they are 20 days ahead of the other room, give or take. A lot has changed in here over the last few weeks that I really need to get you guys updated on. And unfortunately, we did have some big issues in here with having these plants far too big for not only the space, but also for HVAC equipment. Like I said in that previous room, the humidity in Thailand is no joke. So our plants were far too big for the space in here, and our reheat system just couldn't handle the humidity, not only from the size of the plants, but because of our leaks that we had previously. Before we got the leaks taken care of, and we realized that was a serious issue, we also had to remove 1 row of plants on every single table to bring down the humidity in the room. So let's take a quick look at that. So here we are under the canopy. We started out this grow with three rows of plants per table. So we cut that down to a lot less, and then we removed both the 2 at the end and 2 at the end on the other end, so an extra 4 and an entire row. Here we got the blue Skittles here, big donkey colas here just flopping over. We should have put a second layer of trellis netting, but unfortunately I was too busy. But they are staying up with the single layer, just hanging over all which way. We really want to keep them straight up and down next time, but this is the way that they're going to be this round of plants. So overall, everything's cleaned up. We did the same thing, lollipopping underneath, and our defoliation was done a lot later in this room. I think we got it done around day 35, which isn't ideal, but better late than never. Here we have Tropicana cookies, or Tropicana cherry. Super nice buds. Frost factor on there. Nice dense buds stacked all the way to the top. Next one we have Sunday Driver. I have it labeled wrong right there. Sour Diesel is a strain over there, but this is Sunday Driver. My second favorite strain in this room. My first being the Tropicana cherries. I keep getting them confused there. These two will be our highest quality strains for sure. Blue Skittles, super loud terps, but just the bag appeal is not there compared to the other strains we have going on here. Then we have Grease Monkey, which is our shortest plant or strain in this room, but still a full canopy in there. Nice big large flowers. My least favorite strain in the entire facility. I don't think I'll ever grow that one again. Just the pheno in there, or the strain, is not my favorite. And it seems to be drinking a lot more water than the other tables, which I'm not a fan of. It's just taking up far too much nutrients. And as we go over here, you'll notice that we have 2 completely empty tables, which where we had our pheno hunt going on. About 50% of the phenos, or the plants from seed in here, became hermaphrodites. So while I was removing those, they were just too spread out along the 2 tables to keep all these lights going on over the entire space. So I just decided to remove all the plants altogether because we were dealing with the humidity issue in here. So to resolve not only the humidity issue, but also the hermaphrodites and being spread out so much, we just decided to completely get rid of the pheno hunt and deal with that again in the future. We did, however, keep our clones here. We have Stomp Berries, Permanent Chimera, and Platinum Pave. A few strains, or a few phenos of each of those in here. The Permanent Chimera number 2 is looking really good in here. Stomp Berries number 14, Stomp Berries number 5, Platinum Pave number 4 are all my favorites along this one row. Same thing over here. We got our 2 CO2 tanks set up here, 2 regulators. That way we can have them alternating. This one would be half filled, this one would be a fresh tank, and that way we always have CO2 inside the room and we're not running out in the middle of the night while I'm at home or nobody's at the building. We do keep our extra full tanks inside the room because it is a little bit cooler actually inside the grow room than out in the warehouse in the rest of the building. Okay, so we're out in the irrigation room now. A few things have changed in here, so I'll give you a quick update on that. So instead of mixing our nutrients daily over there, in our little jugs that we had going on, I decided to switch into these 55-gallon drums. So this is 3 25-pound bags of part A, 2 25-pound bags of part B, and 2 bags of 25-pound bloom. So we got part A, part B, and bloom here. That way this is a stock concentrate, and then we can just do our mixing from liquid from now on. So say we need 4,000 milliliters of part A, then we come over here, these are 2,000 milliliters, so we take 2 jugs of this and then dump it into our reservoir over here, wait 10 minutes, do the next one, wait 10 minutes and do the next one. Much more time efficient doing it that way rather than mixing our dry nutrients every single day, which was taking about 3 to 4 hours between mixing and dissolving the nutrients and then adding each part into the reservoir and then waiting 10 minutes and keep it circulating. This way is much more efficient. We get it done in around a half hour, and very happy about that. Another thing that we have changed over here is there are no longer electronic valves on the bottom because they were giving us issues. This is much more efficient and less issues happening. So next I'll just remove the old electrical line that goes to our open sprinkler, and then that will be all resolved down there. I have turned the filters on its side, that way when we do change our filter a few times while we're mixing the nutrients and filling the reservoir with water, that the liquid between this valve and this valve get poured out. That's why there's water here. So we can change the filter and the water pushes any debris that might be left behind from the filter getting changed, ends up out here. Instead of before, when it was standing straight up, debris would stay in the line and then eventually go through our lines and maybe clog a drip emitter inside the room. So this resolves that issue before it ever happened. Not like it happened, but I'm just being proactive in case that does happen. We have been having some water issues in this building as we only have a 3,000 liter reservoir outside the building that brings in city water. So in the event that we need more than 3,000 liters per day, which sometimes we do, we end up taking our extra from these 2 reservoirs and using this hose to transfer it from there into whatever tank we needed. So that's why that system is there. But overall, everything's looking good out here. We got all of our issues resolved. We do still need to clean up a little bit of the debris that came out of flower room 2 from our defoliation that we finished up yesterday. So today's job will be clearing out this space and getting it all good. So that was just a quick update on the grow facility for you guys to get you up to date, and I'll be starting to do the weekly updates again. I just had too much on my plate over the last few weeks with the defoliation of both the flower room 1 and 2, lollipopping flower room 1, and a whole bunch of issues that came up with the humidity being an issue and our electronic valves out here for the irrigation systems. But overall, we're back on track and the buds are looking good in both flower room 2 and flower room 1. So until next time, happy growing everyone. And remember to get out there and make it happen.